So in this video I'm going to be going through the Ryobi nail gun. This is an 18 gauge nail gun, battery powered, no air compressors, no gas cartridges or anything like that. Just a straightforward 18 gauge nail gun. I'm going to show you whether it's worth the money and give you a quick demonstration and give you the pros and cons and whether I would recommend you buying this. So first things first, the nail gun itself, just to start off with, is the price. I brought this nail gun from Amazon in the UK and I spent £170 on just the body of the nail gun. That doesn't include the 5 amp hour battery, it's just the body of the actual 18 gauge nail gun. Just to give you an idea of what comes in the box, you get the nail gun, you get 2 non-marring tips, and you also get some spare nails. And that's it. You get the manuals and the how-to booklets and all sorts, but this is all you get. If you want the batteries, you're going to have to buy these separately. And the battery cost me £75 for a 5 amp hour. And also for this particular battery, you'll need a special charger for it. That charger actually cost me £57. So all in all, I spent £301 on the nail gun, the battery, and the battery charger. So what's so great about this nail gun? Well, first of all, it doesn't require a gas cartridge. It doesn't require air compressors. It runs off a airstrike technology is what they call it, which is where a battery, an amp hour battery, will connect into the gun itself. It's got a magazine which holds all the nails, and the nails go from 15 millimeters to 50 millimeters. And I've tested this both on hardwoods and softwoods and I've had great results. Not only does the battery last a very long time, I think I've used this on 2 projects and very large projects, to be honest, and I've charged it only once since I bought the battery. So I haven't been using it extensively every single day in my woodworking, but it's great for things like trims, if you're applying cladding, or if you're going to do any other woodworking which you just need to put fire a few nails, just hold things in place. And that's exactly why I brought it. I didn't buy it for any other reason but that. But starting off, is it worth the money? Well, first of all, it does exactly what I needed to do. Maybe your needs are slightly different. Maybe you need a finer nails. This is an 18 gauge nail gun, so it does hold these sort of magazines, and the nails are a little bit chunkier than the other gauges. However, for pinning and doing any trim work, it does exactly what it needs to do. And the fact that it goes up to 50 mil, that's amazing for a gun that doesn't rely on any air compression. And it's really strong. I've tested it both on hardwoods and softwoods and I've had no issues whatsoever. I've had a nail jam once, only because the magazine itself finished and came to an end. Other than that, it was plain sailing and it's working great since. Talking about nail blockages, I'm just going to show you how to do it. So I'll remove these nails. And what you do, you want to loosen the actual magazine so it's free. And you have a lever up here which clicks open. And then you can release any nails that get stuck in the actual nail gun. What I find is I've used a cheaper model like the Draper, for example, and you have to unscrew a couple of small Allen key bolts to just release a nail that gets stuck. And it is time consuming, especially if you're on a job and you want to just quickly get on with it, take the nail out and carry on. So it's great, not just for that adjustment. You can adjust the depth of how far you want the nail to go into your piece, and also at the back of the nail gun you have the amount of pressure you want to apply. So if you're using a softwood, you may want to apply a little bit less. If you're using a hardwood, you might want to put the maximum power into that, just to make sure that nail goes in and sits just underneath the surface of the wood. So apart from that, let's just give it a test and then you can see exactly what it does. And then you can tell me in the comments below whether this is something that you would use or whether you have any more questions, and I can always come back to you in the comments, or do another video if you like. So yeah, let's get into the demonstration and I'll show you exactly how this nail gun works. So let's just jump straight in. So what we're going to do is, first of all, we're going to load up our magazine, and for this particular demonstration I'm using a 40mm 18 gauge nail guns, and it just sits nice in place. You slide it upwards to the top and then close the actual case itself, and that's ready to go. You can check the battery by pressing the button, and at the moment it's got 3 bars, which is plenty. And you can also see that it actually got two LEDs on the front of the gun, just to give you a bit of visibility of what you're firing into. On this side of the gun, you can see this is where you adjust the depth of the nail, whether you want it to be above the piece of wood or beneath. I've already got that set to the right position. And one other thing that's great on this gun is you can adjust the amount of power that goes into it. So again, I've got this readjusted, and this is going in for full power at the moment. And the final feature I want to show you is the 2 firing options. So this little button here, if you click it one way, it does one other, and then the other way to do the other option. So one option is to have a precision, is what they call it, a precision firing. So where you press down the gun onto your piece and then fire. But then you have the option of clicking it, and it's called bump fire, which is where you hold down the trigger, and as you press down, it will just constantly keep firing the nails as you press into the piece of wood. But for this demonstration, I'm just going to do the single fire shot mode. And what I've got here, I've just got some pine that I've got, a bit of scrap wood, and I'm going to fire the nails into this piece, and just to see whether it goes in deep enough and whether it holds in place, just for a demonstration. So yeah, first of all, got the settings in, everything's in, collected. What you want to do is make sure you don't put your hands anywhere near the firing position. So all we're going to do is press down on the gun until the light comes on, and then you're just going to fire. It paused for a second at the beginning because it was just adjusting the nails as we just put them in, but as you can see, they fired in really well, just underneath the piece of wood, which is great because then you could literally just put some filler on there, sand it off, and it's holding it in place. So that's on the softwoods, but just to give you a demonstration on the hardwoods, I've got a piece of sapele here, which is quite a nice chunky piece here, and I just want to see whether that has enough power to go into it and sit the nail just underneath the piece of wood. So again, not going to adjust anything as it was. Press the nail gun down into the piece and just fire. You can see here it's done a great job. It's just probably about 1/2 mil, not even that, just a hairline over. One of the pieces is gone in nicely, the other two just slightly higher where I need it to be. But that's in solid wood, and that's a 40mm nail, which has just gone straight into that hardwood, no issues whatsoever. And you can see it's not left any markings or anything from the gun, which is great for when you're doing finishing jobs and things like that. So that's a quick demonstration. To take it all apart, what I would just normally do is release the nails. And just to release the battery, you just press the 2 buttons either side and it comes off. The gun itself does weigh quite a bit. I've got used to the weight of it now, but it's actually around 2 to 2.5 kilograms without the battery. So it is quite a heavy machine to use on a daily basis, but for the odd jobs here and there, I think it's great. So now that you've seen a quick demonstration of the nail gun, let me know what you guys think. Put a comment in below. If you want me to do some more testing, I'm more than happy to do that. But like I said, I've been using this on plywood, MDF, softwoods and hardwoods, and had no issues whatsoever. The fact that you can go from a 15mm nail all the way up to a 50 is a big feature for me, because sometimes I have pieces of wood which are thicker and sometimes I have thinner ones, and it handles it really well, no issues whatsoever. Would I recommend it? Yes, and to be honest, if you go on Amazon UK, this is the #1 best-selling nail gun out there. Not only because of the fact that it's a Ryobi, which is a kind of a entry-level brand for tools and other things, but not only that, you can use this particular machine uses the batteries, which is called a Ryobi One Plus, and this battery can be used on many other tools such as a staple gun, circular saw, and all sorts. And this is why I think Ryobi sell really well, because of the fact that it has that platform. The second thing I would like to say is this isn't cheap. It's an investment. You can buy cheaper air compressors and a cheaper nail gun, which goes with an air compressor. However, I just didn't want the hassle of dragging pipes around to my jobs, and I just didn't want the hassle of having a compressor in such a small workshop as well. So for me, this is great. I will probably get some more comments in terms of how often I've used it and would I recommend it after a certain amount of time. I've been using this for probably about 2-3 months now, and I've had no issues whatsoever. Like I said, I've had one nail which got jammed. The battery lasts a very long time, and it's just a very well built tool. It's solid, it's robust. It's not like I use it very gently. I take it to a job site, I use it in my workshop, and again, no issues whatsoever. The only thing I would say is a big investment of £301, including the battery and the charger. However, you just want the gun on its own, there is an option, because Ryobi don't sell this, but you can buy a special adapter called a B adapter, which goes onto the base of this, and you can actually use your batteries from your Makita, your Bosch, or your DeWalt tools. So if you have those brands and you use their tools regularly, you can use those batteries on a Ryobi tool if you have that adapter. I'm not going to recommend that. I've seen some of my friends use it. The reason I'm not recommending it is just purely the fact that I haven't used it myself, so I don't want to recommend something I haven't used. But what I would say is, if that's something you're interested in doing, that is an option. Not only will you save money on the chargers and the batteries itself, but you can use the batteries you have to use this nail gun. And that's a big bonus for people that want to use a nail gun that's 170 quid, that doesn't acquire any air compressors or gas cartridges. And again, it's a great tool, it's a great investment, and I would definitely go for it. Like I said, if you've got any questions or you want me to do any further demonstrations, please comment below, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and check out my other woodworking videos. Thank you.